everybody, welcome back. In the last session, I am sure you liked and you understood how to get rid of fear of public speaking. Today, what we are going to see is how you can gather the crowd, the audience for your seminar, right? Don't you feel that you are giving a seminar and the entire auditorium should be full pack, right? So, there are some tricks we are going to see today. First and foremost, when you give an invitation, either through social media or some flyers or advertisement, remember the time duration. It should not be very short, like your seminar is on 1st December 2020. So you cannot start sending the invitation 15 days, 20 days, 1 month back. No. You should also not send it way back, way back in advance, like 3 months before, 4 months before. No, it's a wrong method. It should be average, you can say 45 days, 1.5 month. This gives the prospective audience a time to think whether he can attend your seminar. It also gives you as a presenter a time for many things, to invite them, to send them reminders, to get a follow up. So the time should be not too big, it should not too short. Second point, that is, never ever keep a seminar on a bank holiday or a public holiday. See, when I say a bank holiday and public holiday, that does not mean Saturday, Sunday. Listen the psychology, what I'm trying to say. Saturday, Sunday are assumed to be routine weekend holidays. So if you keep a seminar on a Saturday, Sunday, people will come. They do come because they don't have, they have nothing to lose something. Yes, it's Saturday, it's Sunday, I have to go. No, they will have one more Saturday, Sunday. The process continues of weekend, so they will definitely attend your seminar. But if you keep your seminar on a Gandhi Jayanti, Independence Day, Republic Day, which falls on a weekday, maybe a Monday, Wednesday, Friday, there are chances people may not turn up for your seminar. The reason is psychology. Here they feel, okay, Monday to Friday I work, and fortunately this week Wednesday is a holiday, I am going to rest, I am going to spend time with my family. So the chances of the turning for your audience is very less. So keep in mind, never use a public holiday or a bank holiday. Saturday, Sunday is fine. In fact, I would say it would always be Saturday, Sunday. Okay. Now this is about the planning or the inviting part. Once you invite them to the mailers, to the flyers, the second part is what and how should be the invitation. There can be two types of seminars, a free seminar and a paid seminar. Now listen carefully when you give an advertisement on a pamphlet, on a brochure or a newspaper or simply a mailer. Remember what I am saying. If it is a free seminar, the word free should be bold enough. People do come for a free seminar. Everyone wants a free lunch. I know there is nothing called as free lunch, but everyone wants a free lunch. Bold. Emphasize on it. I'll give you an example. Free seminar on public speaking. Free seminar on public speaking at Mumbai on 1st December 2020. And below you have to mention mandatorily. I'll explain why. After this you have to write that the entry is on prior registration only. Now just recollect what I said. Try to recollect whatever I have said now. Focus on the free word. Emphasize. If you recollect, I have not mentioned the time. What time? I have just mentioned Mumbai and the date. You know why? Because when I am going to send reminders to the clients, to the prospects whom I expect to turn up for my seminar, it can be possible that they may get irritated. How much time you are sending me SMS? I know I am going to come. It irritates them. Then how to send a reminder? So the reminder should have some purpose, some cause. That's why I have not given the venue, I have just given the city, and I have not given the time. So when these people call up for the registration, because I have mentioned registration is compulsory, otherwise you have no entry. So when these people call up for the registration and ask me what about the venue and time, I'll say we'll be sending you on the same registered number. So my reminder does two purposes. One is reminding them that they have to come, and also telling them the time as well as the venue. So this is one trick you can use. Alright. And why did I use that word? Entry only on prior registration. Who knows, if you're fortunate, a big crowd can come. There is no place for them to sit. You should be positive, right? What happens then? That's why it's always prior registration. What if it's a paid seminar? You can't use the word free. So what will you say? Pay 5,000 and come for the seminar? Never. Never ever place your price or the fees on your pamphlet brochure. You know why? See how the seminar for a paid session will be. It will be the same. Seminar on meditation at Mumbai on 1st December 2020. In small quotes, italics, bold, small quotes, you can put up the fees include, or the entry fee is inclusive of high tea. This solves two purposes. First of all, entry fees is inclusive. This states that there is an entry fee. Now what is the entry fee? He will call you for that. He will definitely call you, and once he calls you, I am sure you can convince him why the entry fee. I am sure. That's one trick. And inclusive of high tea. Now you are making a paid seminar, at least serve them something. If not samosas or pizzas, at least tea and biscuits, it should be there. And people do come up. And this high tea is not just for a paid seminar. You can keep for a free seminar depending on your budget. Somewhere samosas, pizzas, somewhere the biscuits. It depends on you. But people do come. I am not insulting audience. Even I am a part of the audience. But even just tell me, when you go for a marriage, you get an invitation for a marriage, what comes to your mind is, of course, right? And we expect that we will be served food at the marriage. The same way, respect the audience. This is the psychology of the audience. So keep in mind to include those words. I hope you are understanding what I am saying. The latter part is, you send the invitation, the mailers, they call you for registration. When they call you for registration, you will pick up the call, you will say hello, hi, and what will you say? Your registration is number 1. Never do that mistake. Never do that mistake. If you say your registration number is 1, first of all, the client may think that he is a fool, there is no one else for registering, and he may not turn up. And secondly, it will create a bad impression on your part that no one is coming, only one has registered, and the client himself is coming, only one client. So what to do? Tell him, sir, your registration number is 70. Any number, 65, 70. What if he says, okay, so before me, 64 people have registered, and for you, 65 is the first number for you. This solves your purpose. Even the person on the other end feels, okay, 64 people have registered, so I am not making a mistake by attending this seminar. Now once they register for your seminar, what next? Now you get the registration number, everything, you have a list, 50 people are turning up, 70 people are turning up. Now the part comes of reminding them. Reminding means not just sending messages every time. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. He will never come up. Okay. One more thing I want to tell you. Sorry to interrupt. Before taking a follow-up, in the registration part, there is a point to be discussed. When you're talking to him for registration, ask him, would you like to bring someone along with you? He will definitely say yes. But there is a trick again in saying that. You can say this way, you are allowed to bring maximum 2 people with you. Maximum 2 people. I know, within your heart, you feel more people should come. But you have to convey a message to him that, boss, my audience or my auditorium is going to be packed. So I cannot allow one person to bring more people. So only 2. From within you feel you should bring more, but only 2. So this is one more trick. Okay, now going back to the follow-up. How to do follow-up? You should not keep on messaging, as I said, good morning, good afternoon and all. follow-up should be before the event. 10 days before the event, the follow-up should be start, not the reminder, the follow-up. 10 days before the event. First two follow-ups should be purely via mail, social media, and the gap between the first two follow-ups should be 3 to 4 days. 3 to 4 days. And the third and final follow-up should be just prior to the event day. Prior to the, suppose it's on a Saturday, on the Friday, the final follow-up. And in the final follow-up, you have to personally call as well as send a reminder and mailer. So this is the way you are ensured that yes, people are coming. And it may happen on the seminar day at that particular time only 2 people have turned up, or only one person. Within 10 minutes you get nervous. Even the person who has come, he gets nervous. I am the only one, there is no one else. He may go also. You can do one more trick. In your registration process or in your invitation process, you can put a lucky draw part. People come for lucky draw. What can it be? What will be the lucky draw be? You can keep something like in your invitation, the first 10 attendees or the first 15 attendees would be getting a lucky draw. Now when you put this point, first 10 or first 15 attendees, people try to rush to your seminar on time. They try to be punctual. So this last point which I discussed can bring about a punctuality on the part of your audience. Your nervousness, your tension will go down. You're getting it? So this was for today's session. I hope you understood it, and it will definitely help you to get in or pull in more crowd for your seminar, right? So if you liked it, do like my channel, do subscribe to it. I will be coming with a next video. You can say it's a part 3 related to public speaking, right? So for now, bye everyone. Have a great day. Thank you.